Today we spent all day at the office with Cary Flanders, CEO of Merchant Careers and First Direct Financial. Before he got into merchant processing, which is business his business is actually not just merchant processing. It's taking the idea that you could actually train, educate people in becoming more in tune with how to do an honest business in terms of merchant processing. Because so many people in merchant processing, credit card processing, don't get the right kind of rates. They don't get the full kind of disclosure. And he created a company that educates people on how to do that properly. Because every business needs good credit card processing, good rates. But you literally could save tons of money just through understanding how the rates work, how the business works. And he also has trained people through his company, Merchant Careers, on how to become reps in the business. So if you're interested in actually making money, a percentage of businesses that you believe could get a better rate on their business, then he's the guy to go to, because he created this company because he was tired of how so many companies were considered high risk and getting charged high rates for no reason. They're just getting taken advantage of because maybe they're a seminar business or a travel industry business, and they're just being taken advantage of these very high rates because even though they had low chargebacks or low refunds rates, they're being taken advantage of in a certain way. Now, he's come from the standpoint of being a business builder. He's built car dealerships, he's built software companies, and he has a lot of experience. And now he's the CEO of this company. We spent all day with his chairman, his CFO, and team just talking about how RSD could get more involved with helping his company as well. Now, involving sales, also promoting his company, his brand. And I think it's really exciting what you're doing. So I think it's really cool. Now, we're kind of like en route to the airport right now. We flew in just for the day. It's right before Thanksgiving, so we didn't have as much time as we wanted to interview because we got so enraptured in such fascinating conversations all day. And so I thought that'd be kind of cool just to get at least something to share with you guys on our car ride to the airport. You know? But tell us a little bit about how you view merchant processing today versus like what you guys are doing.
Great. Well, first, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. But my whole concept behind this was, I was a merchant, had some business owner like a lot of people out there, and I was in the online software business, and I was getting charged a very high rate. But I had super strong financials. I had very minimal chargeback rates. And this is the only industry I've seen, based on your industry, they don't look at the financials of the company as so much as they look at, hey, you're in this industry, so you're going to be charged high rates. When, to me, that just didn't make sense. When you can go to, say, a restaurant, and there's good restaurants and bad restaurants, and there's just as much risk in a restaurant going out of business as there might be, say, an online company. So, and I also felt no one would ever explain to me when I'd get my merchant statement, there'd be 1 million pages, 1 million different fees, and it was like the good old boys club, no one would tell me what those fees were. So once I got out of the software business, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna sort of be disruptive in this industry and let's start treating it like I would treat any other business, where it's about honesty, about full disclosure. It's about giving, our client, the merchant, the respect they deserve and the transparency they deserve. And if you do your work and you find the right processors, you can take the companies that would normally pay the higher risk fees, that have great financials, low chargebacks, normal processing rates. It's not about, taking a so-called home run on just one account, but getting a bunch of singles on as many accounts as possible, and given the quality and the service that the companies need.
I think it's so interesting that when people sign up for credit card processing, just to process Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, they might just do it through like a service like PayPal or Stripe or what have you. They might not even realize that they're paying so much of their money to these companies. And I know for a fact when I first got into it, I didn't really even care what rate I was getting. I just wanted to get something.
Right.
And I know that just looking at what you're showing me today would literally save us hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, even just to start off the bat, just with doing some of the things that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, like one of the biggest examples that we explain to people is, from the Dodd-Frank Act, is they've literally regulated debit cards. So, the rate that the banks can charge you on debit cards is as low as 0.05% and 22 cents a transaction. So if you're doing a couple $300, $400, $1,000 transaction, your true cost for processing this in that card is pennies, maybe 50 cents. So why are you paying, they say even on a good rate, 2.5% or 3%, or in some cases 4%, 5%, 6%, who knows? So the markup, when you think about that, is ridiculous. I mean, would you give up 3% of the gross sales of your company just to be able to take credit cards? That's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so we make it, you know, make it fair. You know, we don't do it for free, but at the same point, we charge a small profit and pass the rest of the savings on to our consumer, you know, to our merchant, and we get the loyalty. And back to your part about the training is, we figure we can teach anybody to do this. This is my idea on this was everybody knows 5 to 10 people take credit cards. Think about it. It's all about networking. How many people, you know, the guy that cuts your hair, the barber shop, you know, the local bar you go to, your favorite restaurant, your dry cleaner, guy that fixes your car, you know, a guy that washes your car. You know, there's a million different companies.
Well, what's interesting about your business is it's not just a credit card processing business, it's a sales training company.
Correct.
So pretty much, what was it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have new webinars?
So yeah, we do live webinars 5 days a week at 9 a.m. Pacific. They go anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. Live, every day is a different topic, and then we spend anywhere from 45 minutes to 30 minutes on Q&A. So if our reps have a question, need help, we answer that question. We also then assign basically a coach, a professional trainer, to help them. So they have a dedicated director that's in my corporate office here in Scottsdale, where if they got a merchant that they need help explaining the statement, learning the business, you know, motivating them. Like, you know, we even go as far as doing sales training 101, you know, how to make a proper handshake, you know, who's a gatekeeper, who's a decision maker, every steps of the sale, you know, presentation, you know, eye contact, similar to probably all the stuff you guys teach.
Yeah.
But taken into the business, you know, aspect, and then tie merchant services on top of that. You know, we get a lot of reviews online that they say, even if I didn't sell merchant services, the sales training I got from you guys was, you know, invaluable.
What do you think are some of the most popular tips that you think all sales reps need to know in order to become successful?
Well, it comes down to confidence. You know, believe in what you're selling is probably one of the most important things. Believe in yourself when you walk in there. You know, make good eye contact, and know who the decision maker is, or find out how to get to that decision maker. A lot of times people won't realize they're talking to the person they're talking to is the person they need to, you know, to be nice to, get the rapport with, to then get to maybe the person that makes that decision, that can make a change in the processor. Is some of the, in my opinion, some of the most important pieces of it.
Now you're doing not just the sales in terms of like webinars, but you're also getting teams of people. Like you invite me to come down here to help you get more people into the pipeline that could also not just use your service, but also potentially take over some of your business. And I thought that was a really interesting thing, because I know that people who have done that in the financial services industry, who are training like my guys in Vegas right now, I flew some of them in to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But they're doing that on an online platform and then doing that through phone sales. But what you're doing here is you're using the online platform to train people to go out in real life and then get the sales and lock that down.
Correct.
And I guess I was curious, like how you built so many people into your pipeline so fast that are in your training program to learn sales. I was curious how you got these people. Like, how did you get the first few hundred people in the door to be a part of this?
Well, we focus on people with an entrepreneur mindset. So we got a list and left voice messages to attend one of our webinars. So when you get to our webinars, we'll explain the opportunity, and then if you're interested in opportunity, then you can go on to the training program. And then we provide everything from your business cards, you know, your polo shirt with our logo on it, all the marketing material, you know, the flyers, the brochures. We do a $1,000 guarantee on our pricing. So if we can't beat or meet the current pricing, you know, we'll write that merchant a check for $1,000 within 24 hours, which we've yet to do, by the way, because we're that confident in our pricing.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
money where your mouth is, right?
There's so many people that couldn't even give certain merchants certain rates at all. I know that certain industries, they can't even get certain rates. They have to use merchant accounts. They have to use sometimes CC bill or aggregator services to get merchant accounts, and you're able to even get some of these people.
Absolutely,
rates,
yeah. Even
most people, because if not, you give them $1,000, right?
Yeah, there's always, you know, you need to be a legitimate business. Obviously, if you know, we don't do fraud. You know, we don't let someone process for one industry and claim it's a different industry. There's certain, you know, we follow the guidelines and ethical guidelines, of course. But you know, if you do your research, and there's pretty much a processor for anything if you do your research on it. So, for example, cannabis. We're able to process for cannabis in all 50 states, whether it's recreational or medical purposes, depending on what laws those particular states have. Online sales, multi-level marketing companies, adult industries, adult entertainment. You pretty much name it, we can find a home.
I think that's pretty impressive, because I know the guys at Brazzers, they were doing about $80 million a year in revenue, and they couldn't even get a merchant account, so much so that they created their own merchant processing company. And I guess you guys did the same thing, but you guys are now offering the service to other people. And I think that's pretty awesome, because you guys are your own ISO, your own merchant processing bank, and also your own broker combined into one. And you're also even financing deals. So people say you couldn't afford to pay for a certain product, you're even funding customers for companies. And
right.
then they get instant approval, and I think they would get the money a couple days later transferred to the merchant, or would they get
right? Well, so we offer financing for the different merchants. So if there's some higher ticket services they sell, and someone maybe doesn't have $15,000-$20,000 available on credit cards, that we offer financing packages, that with no collateral. It's based, credit based for all different credit scores.
And then there's more leniency, though. It's easier to get approved through
Absolutely.
you as opposed to a credit card company.
Absolutely. Yeah, credit scores down to the 500s.
When you do this, are you taking on some of that risk as well?
We take a little bit of the risk, and then we have different banks that will take the risk. So, mainly it's finding different partners. So we split some of the risk. We'll find banks that take the risk. Depending on the industry and the financials of the company or the individual, we'll determine that factor on our end as well.
Now, you and your business partner have a lot of connections in the business world and also the political world. How do you leverage that to build your company?
Well, it's about networking. So it's about, one, providing a solid product and having the contacts and the network of people we know feel confident in the services and products we offer. One thing you never want to do is offer a product or use a referral source and then drop the ball on them, because you'll lose those contacts right away. So them being able to vet out that we are what we say we are, we do what we claim, like I said earlier, put our money where our mouth is, for lack of a better term. And then once that's happened, then use those connections and be able to offer, best prices, best services, best practices. I mean, our number one priority is taking care of the customer. That comes first.
Well, today we were going over your training platform and seeing how you do all the training and modules. And it kind of reminded me of our online membership sites, where you have different modules and training, but you have a really interesting live seminar component where people could click on a button to go to GoToMeeting and have live webinars on a regular basis as well. I thought that was really interesting to me, because most of our live webinars are done through streaming services like YouTube or Webinar Jam. And I always love comparing other information services or educational services, how they're doing their business versus how we're doing ours. And I love how you have the green screen and educational platform. I've never seen a financial company actually create such a hardcore internet training program to train people on how to become better at selling their products, selling their services, and getting kind of like an open system for pretty much anyone to get involved. Because it sounds like you're looking for pretty much anyone who's going to take a shot that wants to get involved, and you're just going to train them, make them better people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I sort of mentioned anywhere, I would bet almost anybody knows 5 to 10 people that own some type of company or manage some type of company that takes credit cards. And if we can save them money, what's to lose? We don't ask for money up front. We don't do application fees. There's no money out of the merchant's pocket. If they do need equipment, we might offer them some discounted pricing on equipment. Maybe get EMV or PCI compliant, with the new regulations on credit cards with the new chips. Probably one thing a lot of people don't realize on that front is, the way chargebacks are handled now. If you're not PCI compliant or chip compliant, depending on the type of industry you're in, and someone does a dispute on that credit card, they automatically win. Wow. You don't even get the option to dispute if you're not compliant. And as more people learn that, unfortunately, in this country, they're going to take advantage of that loophole. So more and more people will just start doing chargebacks just to get something for nothing.
Well, I think it's interesting because most people who are consumers, I think, don't even know what chargebacks are. I mean, it's not so much if you're a merchant that you actually realize what that is, you know, because a lot of people assume that, like, for example, a hotel or a flight, that, you know, if they didn't get the service they were provided, you know, if they was paid for something, and let's say that there's a mistake, and they got the wrong itinerary or something, and they just lose the money. I've had friends who had that problem. They bought a flight through a broker, and they gave them the wrong flight. And they just thought they just lose the money, but they contacted your credit card dispute, and they have a chargeback. Now, merchants sometimes don't know how to deal with that or how to win in the process and how it goes. And also, most of the time, merchants don't even know, like, the difference between all the rates, like what an interchange rate is. I mean, you said you didn't even learn that until you got into the business as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Could you talk about a little bit about how that world works?
Yeah, well, on two different fronts. One's interchange, and a lot of people in this industry, they just want to know, well, what's my rate? Well, unfortunately, nobody just has a rate. If they're a merchant that's on a flat rate, say 3% or 2.5%, I promise you that you're paying too much, because how you want to be on is interchange plus pricing. So you pay the interchange rate, which is what comes from the banks and Visa, MasterCard, plus a small markup. The plus would be our markup. But as I had mentioned earlier, on the interchange on debit cards, it can be low as 0.05%. Interchange is determined by the credit card the consumer uses. So if you have, say, 6 credit cards in your wallet, Nick, all 6 of those credit cards are going to have, including your debit card, will have a different interchange rate associated to it. So maybe your, double airline rewards card will have a little bit higher interchange rate because it's the actual merchants that pay for all those rewards, not the consumer. But your debit card is just straight out of your bank account, so the interchange rate on that could be 0.05%, whereas on your triple airlines rewards, it might be 1.8% plus the interchange markup. But if you run 50% debit card and your lowest rate's 2.5%, someone's making a couple points off your business on every single transaction. Now on the chargeback, that's where, like you had mentioned, say someone books through a travel agency, the itinerary's wrong. The consumer has the right to dispute that. Now let's say the merchant did provide everything correctly. We then teach the merchants how to do a chargeback process to dispute what the consumer claimed, show the proof that it was an actual transaction, and get their money back. We provide those services as well for the merchants. So we just don't say, oh, too bad, good luck. We actually provide them the right forms, the right websites to go to then get their money back from that consumer, or from the consumer that did the false chargeback report.
Cool, awesome. Well, yeah, we're pulling up towards the exit of the Sky Harbor Airport, but thanks for the interview. Thanks for the awesome
my
day
pleasure.
in the office.
Thanks for coming out.
So much fun.
It was a great time.
I look forward to seeing how everything goes with us partnering in the future. Now, people who are interested in getting more into the financial services business, or maybe learning more about sales. So Cary's company has an awesome deal for people who are watching this video. If you guys click on the link below in my description of this video, you'll get into a video that explains how you can create a career in merchant services, or how you can earn a percentage of what people you refer to his company, because he's going to split a bunch of the commissions that you guys refer. So if you want your friends to both get better rates and save a ton of money, you make a small bit of money for any business owner who wants to go from like a high rate on PayPal or from a high risk merchant account and get like a low rate, normal rate. Cary has an awesome deal for you guys to make a cut of that. Become a program affiliate, become a person also potentially involved with his training and learn how to become a better salesman. So check out the video below, click on the link and check it out. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments or questions, post them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them myself. And subscribe to the channel and get a lot of videos in the future. Cheers.